connecting with others, link with people, human connection. A Course in Miracles does a great job for helping us to refrain from getting so caught up in the world where we experience burnout and fatigue. And by understanding the principles of A Course in Miracles, I have been able to more easily overcome adversity, maintaining health and well-being, both mindful and physical. The biggest rewards and lessons in life, along with opportunities, certainly are in connecting with others. There are times we feel things are moving along quite nicely and fairly well, and that we are having success in life until something gets in our way and we have to begin overcoming adversity, and adversity just hits us in the face. Hello, everyone. This is James Nussbaumer, and in my first book of the series called The Master of Everything, A Story of Mankind in the World of Illusion We Call Life, in this book, I discuss in great detail a certain link with people that helps all of us heal, including self-healing. You know, great relationships are not special. Rather, they are connecting with others that is a blessing, or as A Course in Miracles calls it, a holy relationship. And it's where we are called to see giving and receiving as two different aspects, but of the same one thought. Yes, giving and receiving as one thought. Think about that. But two different aspects of that thought. You know, while I was in prison and just barely turning 50 and still not over the fall that I took in that foolish securities violation where I'd spent 8 long years in prison, I cannot describe the feeling when one sees one's name on the daily incoming mail list. For me, it was a sense of being in touch with freedom, getting mail from someone on the outside, even a short note from a family member or an old friend who hasn't forgotten about you. Just writing a short note to say, how are you? Or is there anything I can do to help? Connecting with others lends a sense of belonging. Wouldn't you agree? You know, to feel united is really freedom, the way I look at it. While I was in prison, you know, mail becomes an exciting part of the routine day, and is why the weekends and holidays with no mail service can seem quite dismal. Unless you've been in prison yourself, you can never begin to understand the impact of a single piece of mail. On a particular day when I needed it the most, my name appeared on the mail list at the guard's desk. As I squeezed my way through the crowd, in and out of smelly armpits and bulging tattoos, the guard already had his arm stretched out with a piece of mail with a letter for me to grab. I didn't recognize the return address at first, but then I did notice immediately it was from California. This letter was from my long ago but not forgotten Florida golf buddy, John Phillips, and it was plain to see he was now living in the Sonoma Valley, the wine country. I discussed in a previous blog, which you can find at my blog site, which, by the way, is at the link in the description box down below of this YouTube video. But I discussed in a previous blog article how years ago where both John and I were in Florida playing a lot of golf, and John had plans to relocate to the wine country. He called it God's country. But on this piece of mail that I got that day, his custom return address label displayed decorative grapevines surrounding his name and address. A Course in Miracles states, the holy relationship, a major step toward the perception of the real world, is learned. It's a situation. A situation is a relationship, being the joining of thoughts, the joining of minds. I was emotionally lit up with elation as I quickly counted backwards in my mind and in my brain to realize it had been 15 years since I'd last spoken to or seen my good old friend John. Last time we'd seen each other. There he was, that sweet swinging John. I could just picture in my mind as I held the letter in his hand of his beautiful golf swing. There he was with me, just for the moment, behind these block walls and steel bars of prison. I could see with excitement that he had much to fill me in on. his letter really helped me make change in myself for the better because of what I was up against there in that volatile and often violent den of the cell block. It was about human connection. I was already seeing John in my mind, engaging with me in his usual deep eye contact. That's the way he talked with a person. When he spoke with you, he would look directly into your eyes, like I'm looking at you right now. He seemed to have a simple and strong way for connecting with others, with anyone that he spoke with, at a kind of like a deep brotherly level. We've all heard it said before that the eyes are the passageway to the soul, or we may have heard it as the eyes are the window to the soul. John's letter was several pages, and I could see that he had really a lot he wanted to tell me. Just by knowing him, I knew that there had to be good things he wanted to share with me. As I walked back to my bunk area in that loud, obnoxious, volatile, and violent place, just to savor his letter, I was excited to just dive into what he had to say. Suddenly, all of a sudden, the volume of the chaotic noise around the prison house just seemed to be non-existent anymore. I was just so wrapped up and involved in reading what John had to say and connecting with him as though he were there, right there with me. John's letter described how his business, a communications company that he had started in Florida and then now moved to the wine country in California, was alive, doing well, but it was small scale, and he said it's just the way he wanted it to be. John was really all about inner power, health, and well-being, but with minimal stress, which he handled well. He had plenty of free time, he said, to play competitive golf in Northern California's over 50 senior amateur golf circuit. He could delegate, he said he could delegate much of the headaches of his business to his office manager, a middle-aged recent widow who loved the challenge of his business. John said he paid her very well, much above average, and that she was worth every penny of it. He concluded by telling me that in the world today, there seems to be far too much strain on being caught up in daily tasks that only lead us to burnout and fatigue than there is in connecting with others. John had said he had great human connection with his office manager and trusted her to keep things running smoothly while he and his wife Becky enjoyed California, the wine country, and also as first-time grandparents with their new granddaughter, and John playing the golf circuit, of course. Please note that as I conclude here, that if you're wanting more on this story, you can find it at the blog at my website, which is in the description box down below. And if you've enjoyed this video, please click the subscribe button to this YouTube channel and subscribe to my channel. And if you would like to sign up for my Everyday Miracles Mastermind newsletter, you'll find the link at my SAFE website. If you get to my website, you'll find plenty of places that are offering you a sign up for my Everyday Miracles Mastermind newsletter, and to my blog, and to my self-help library, and so much more. But in my newsletter is where we, meaning you and I, you the reader and I the author, we bring our minds together for self-success and a better world. And now I hope that you're deciding to live in this world by connecting with others, linking with people, and human connection. And I also hope you're thinking about your own life. I always like to add, because there's so many natural gifts that we all possess inside, and it's all about human connection, connecting with others. I hope you'll think seriously about that. And thanks again for listening to me for these brief short minutes. I hope to see you maybe one day at an event or a book signing or anywhere. And if we do cross each other, please let me know that you saw my video or read my blog or what have you. Thanks again, and God bless.